Alright then, all together. Da-da-da-do. There we go. It was kind of annoying. It's also the sign that we're going to talk about John Cena, so it's basically the bat signal, who these days has definitely entered that upper echelon of WWE superstars. He is officially all-time. I am Sam from What Culture, please do subscribe. And here's 10 fascinating backstage facts about the man who cannot be seen. Number 10, the Money in the Bank 2023 promo wasn't the plan. So let's start super recent, because why not? And I will say, take this with a pinch of salt, even though it is out there. WWE does like to spin a web. But yeah, John Cena surprised the entire UK when he just randomly turned up at Money in the Bank, and it ruled. I know because I was there. Haven't popped like that for a while. He then went off about how WrestleMania should be in England, and he left us all stunned. We know this, but the powers that be have never even hinted at it. What the flub is going on? The twist is, during the post-press conference, Triple H came out and said this was not what he had expected Cena to say, and that maybe we should all calm down. Like an abusive relationship, this. Who are we meant to believe? The game even claimed this was a minor headache for the company, because what were they meant to do? Well, I can clear that one up. Do Mania over here tomorrow. There you go. Now, if I were to guess, this was all part of the experience to test the waters, because look, do you think Vince McMahon doesn't want to take back whatever record AEW is about to break at Wembley? Exactly. Let's keep this going, though. It's really working out for fans this side of the pond, and I flippin' love it. Number 9, he asked Tommy Dreamer for permission. And what does that mean? I'll tell ya. To quote Tommy Dreamer on Busted Open Radio, he described his first meeting with Cena when he said he cared when he didn't have to. This was in relation to John finding the ECW legend backstage at a WWE event and asking him if it was okay if he started using a modified version of his finish. It was, of course, the AA. This is why everybody loves Mr. Cena. He is a very thoughtful dude. Tommy, since that day in 2002, has always thought it was super cool, because even if no requests were made, nobody was going to take Dreamer's side on that one, given at the time he was more of a backstage guy. The real icing on the cake is that nobody told Johnny to do this. He just found Tommy and sorted it out on his own. You gotta love him. Number 8, he had a word with a tryout wrestler. You know Mike Kanellis. He's had a run with WWE, is currently in Ring of Honor, and has carved quite a very nice career for himself. He may not have felt so spruce after his WWE tryout, though. Going down in 2007 when he took on Crime Time, I suppose Mike thought it would be fun to do a variation of the "You Can't See Me" taunt. Nope. Somebody told Cena, and he wasn't happy. Word travels fast as John was waiting at the curtain and told Kanellis in no uncertain terms, "You do not ever do this again." And I get that. Even though Cena was an established star at this point, it's always dog-eat-dog stuff. Everybody is protecting their spot. Because he is a good dude, Mike totally understood, apologized, and that was that. Water under the bridge, lesson learned. In fact, the now Mike Bennett is such a stand-up individual, he even respected the fact Cena came and told him straight up, rather than bury him to the office. That is how you should conduct business. It's another tick for John. Number 7, his rapper gig was meant to be a one and done. One day, because it was Halloween, WWE rallied up those they didn't consider to be top-tier talent and told them to dress up. Cena was going to be Vanilla Ice, which John was happy with. He could freestyle, so it'd be a nice opportunity to show a different side to himself. Have a guess how this goes. Creative was so impressed it sparked some ideas, one of which was to go and do that in front of the crowd. Within weeks, this was a thing. Everybody loved it. There's also that story that it all started when Stephanie McMahon saw him rapping on a bus during a European tour, but here is the point. Somebody instructed him to go and do it more, and it worked because he used it to become a legend. I mean, that's a pretty smart use of your time. Number 6, Cena gave feedback on 205 Live's commentary, which seems totally bizarre. We go to 2017 with this one, when announcer Vic Joseph found John Cena backstage and said hello. Makes sense. He's a worthwhile friend to have. After inquiring on his role, Joseph told John he was a commentator for 205 Live, so Cena said he'd tune in and have a listen. Naturally, Vic thought he was just being nice, but no, the man actually watched the show. And that Cena gave him some real helpful pointers, which helped him evolve in his role. So once again, when people are super nice about John, this is why. It's just what he does. He goes out of his way. Number 5, he had accidental erections. Well, we were always going to get here one day. It was inevitable. Confirmed in 2009 when Cena was on the Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens show, he did tell the host that sometimes in the ring, he gets a boner. I mean, that's actually what he said. In fact, it got so out of control it became a backstage joke, and I suppose I get that. If you're about to hit a hip toss and notice a hard object in the groin area, you're going to ask about it. The real bizarreness is that it did take on a life of its own, so much so other wrestlers would gather by the monitor to see if it was going to happen. I don't know about you, but maybe you should just go and play cards or something. So the only thing we didn't get is Michael Cole on commentary informing the viewer about this, and I've thought about it, and I think that's likely for the best. Number 4, everybody thought he was going to fight R-Truth. And I don't mean in the ring either, because one day when R-Truth was coming back to the WWE, everybody else expected a big scrap between him and John Cena. What even is wrestling? It was all the buzz in 2008 because Ron Killings had recorded some diss tracks about John, and after Conan had sparked this off by saying they got into a fight at the airport, everybody thought we were going to get round 2. The problem being, they didn't even have a round 1 and it was made up. All that actually did happen was that John Cena was super professional, surprise, surprise. So when he saw Truth backstage, he asked if there was going to be an issues. R said they wouldn't be, so they shook hands, and that was that. I do believe this is how you do it. They also shared a hug, and as ever the locker room was disappointed, because I swear, sometimes wrestling is full of grown children. Number 3, he openly called out Becky Lynch backstage. When Becky Lynch rightfully became SmackDown champion in 2016, there were still some questions about it. I do get this, but it wasn't Becky's fault. WWE just weren't using her as they should have been. For reference, go and look at the last few years. There you go. Her presentation was just paper thin, and as John saw this, he brought it up, doing the classic veteran trick of finding her and asking, "Who are you?" It's a question even Steve Austin had back in the day. Who is Becky Lynch in the confines of sports entertainment? Thankfully, Becky got this and it lit a fire under her, even more so because around the same time she had had a similar chat with one Shawn Michaels. This is why after Lynch had found herself as the man, Cena was the first guy to say way to go, and hopefully all senior employees remember this. Don't have to destroy the younger guard. Just get in their heads a little bit. Number 2, he helped Cody Rhodes in AEW, because he's just a good man. It wasn't as direct as you think, but it all counts, and it came to light when Cody appeared on the Stone Cold Sessions last year. Happening after Rhodes shared the ring with Cena on a house show just before he left the company, he heard the 50-50 reactions John was getting from the fans, and noticed how he responded to it, or how he just accepted it, smiled, and used it to his advantage. Fast forward to Cody's last few months in AEW, and he was certainly experiencing something similar, but given what he had seen years prior, the American Nightmare tried to follow suit. So he applied these lessons and kept moving forward, and while I'm sure some people on the internet would disagree, I think you can see it when studying Cody's career at that point. There's something in his eyes. Given that he has now returned to WWE and basically wants to be John Cena, well, he's probably going to end up doing very well. Number 1, he paid fines for other WWE superstars. I mean, who is this guy? He's not real. Former WWE dude Aiden English told this story as he tweeted it out. But yeah, during a house show match in 2018, him, Rusev, Baron Corbin, AJ Styles, and the Usos all got fined because they were like, "Whoa, it's not on TV, let's have some fun." It sounds like they also got the ref involved to whoop some ass, which does sound quite amusing, but management didn't like the fact this hadn't been approved, so dished out fines that worked out to about $20,000 a wrestler. Sheesh. Apparently Cena also thought this was ridiculous, because let's face it, that is the idea of such events. Give the live crowd something different, so as you now know, he went and sorted the money himself. I mean, that's like $120,000. I mean, even if John just used his influence to get these cancelled, it's still quite the gesture, and another reason why everybody speaks so highly of him. He is simply the best. Not of any other fascinating facts about John Cena? Well, I do believe there's a comment box down there, so why don't you drop one in? Before you like the video, share the video, and subscribe. You can also click the video that's on the screen right now, and you can go to whatculture.com to stay up to date with all the latest wrestling news, and if you'd like to come say hello on social media, it's WhatCulture WWE and Simon Miller 316. Goodbye.